The amazing thing is, and the real I think the real point here is how robust our solution has been, because actually we've managed to make it work still, and by tweaking and by changing things, it's been possible to continue this path. So if I told you now there are treatments that are called almost no profile, so ANP, and we're talking submicron in many cases now, so going from 10 microns to less than 1 micron, and we get pure strengths that are very similar. I have to say they're not quite the same, very similar. Some will tell you they're better. I'm not sure I believe it entirely, but if you if you think about that, and there's a number of ways of doing this. Instead of just relying on a mechanical bond, I mentioned before that we use a chemical bonding between the glass and the resin.
So is this your adhesive system then, Alan?
No,
or is it a treatment?
It's a treatment on the back of the copper foil.
Okay.
So the producers now can provide organic treatments on the back of the foil, which will actually chemically bond into the resin as well.
Oh, nice.
So they've taken the problem and they've moved it on as well. So having said that, though, people in the past used to expect 10 pounds per inch of peel strength or 1.4 newtons per millimeter. Now specifications run down as low as 6 newtons per millimeter. So probably less than half of what we used to. But on the other hand, we don't stick big transformers on there anymore. We don't stick these huge components there anymore. Mm-hmm. So we don't have this big problem of these things falling off. We don't have the issue, of course, either of the thermal unreliability of old systems. So in the past, you solder these boards. The resin wasn't that robust thermally, so when you soldered them, you could actually lift the pads or lift the traces off. Mm-hmm. Now that's much better because the resin itself is far more resilient to thermal cycling. So actually now when you solder them, there's far less tendency for the tracks to lift or the pads to fall off anyway. So there is some good news on that side. But overall, we can now run with submicron treatments on the foil. We can run with these greatly enhanced resin systems to actually give us a robust thermal resilience through the assembly process and through the life of the board as well, and we can address some of these loss problems as well.